Hey guys, good day. Hey, I wanted to jump into something we've all read about and heard about from the Bible. It talks about in Revelation 9. It said it says in Revelation 9, it says verse 6, and in those days people will seek death and will not find it. They will long to die, but death will flee from them. So, if you probably have heard of this show called Walking Dead, and to me this is predictive programming. It's about these zombies who have these bodies that get infected with some type of I don't know what it is, but it keeps their bodies alive, and they're in some vegetative state. Um, so with that, it sort of sounds a little bit like this Revelation 9:6, not completely. But there's another verse in Daniel 12 that speaks about, it says, and at that time Michael shall arise, the great prince shall take charge of your people, and it shall be a time of trouble, such as never been seen since the nation till that time. But at that time your people shall be delivered, everyone whose name was found written in the book. And many of those who asleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. And those who are wise shall shine like the brightness of the sky above, and those who turn many to righteousness like the stars forever and ever. So there's two groups of people that are wise. The first group, they shine like the brightness of the sky, and another group shines like the stars. But before that, you see this resurrection. It looks like there are people that who who are who resurrect to everlasting life, another group who are resurrected to shame and everlasting contempt. So we get this. We've read this before. But my thought was that the resurrection was at the great white throne judgment, which was after the 1,000-year millennial reign. And the 1,000-year millennial reign hasn't even happened yet. This is before the 1,000-year millennial reign. So when we read the second book of Baruch, and I have a document here you guys can download, I spoke about this in a previous video. It tells us something that we probably didn't know, or it would probably better explain what we see in Daniel 12. So in this chapter 49 through 52, Baruch asks the Mighty One, which we assume to be God, he asks him about the nature of the resurrection body. And Baruch gets more than what he asked for, because he hears all about two different groups of people. He hears about a righteous group who are raised to everlasting righteousness and glory, and then there's a second group who are the wicked, who their bodies raise also. So I'm going to go ahead and read through this. And what I tried to do was I tried to take the yellow appears to be those who are raised to everlasting contempt, this group, and some to shame to everlasting contempt. I'm trying to take Daniel 12 and make sense of it through second Baruch. And then the green appears to be those who rise in glory, like it says here. And many of those who sleep in the dust shall awake, some to everlasting life. So let's just go through and see what second Baruch says. It's not completely clear. You have to really look at it, really kind of. The way the English words are translated here, it's hard to kind of grasp at times. But here's what it says. It says, "For the earth shall surely give back the dead at that time. Currently it receives them in order to preserve them, not making change in their form. But as it has received them, so it will give them back." I guess it means if you died at 90 years old, you're going to resurrect at 90 years old, I think. It says, "For at that time it will be necessary to show those who are alive, living, that the dead have come to life again, and that the departed have returned." And I just inserted Daniel 12 here, which I just read a minute ago. It says, "Then, when those who currently know each other at the present time will at that time recognize each other." So people who are alive already, who haven't died, will all of a sudden see these formerly dead people walking around, and they're going to recognize them. It says, "And after this happen, and it will happen after this, when the appointed day has gone by, that both the appearance of those who are found to be guilty, as well as the glory of those who are righteous, will be changed. So it looks like they're going to rise from the dead. Both groups are going to rise from the dead in somewhat the same way they left as they died. But then there's going to be a transformation of the righteous, and then a transformation of those who are guilty. I'll continue. For those who are presently acting wickedly shall suffer torment at that time, and as they suffer, their appearance will be made worse than it is at the present. So the wicked people will rise from the dead with the type of body that they died with, I guess age and appearance. Yet as time goes on during this time, their body will begin to waste away. Their appearance will be made worse than it is at present. But for those who are the righteous, it says, furthermore, the glory of those who have presently been made righteous by my law, those who possessed understanding in their life, and those who are planted a root of wisdom in their heart at that time, their splendor will be glorified by transformations, and the appearance of their face will be changed into the light of their beauty, so that they may be able to acquire and receive underlying the undying world which is promised to them. So they're going to receive a glorified eternal body. While those up here, these wicked ones, they're going to be transformed into a body that's going to get worse and worse, kind of like those Walking Dead people. Okay, then it says both of these will be transformed. Both groups will be transformed. The latter into the splendor of angels, the former into startling visions and horrible shapes, and they will waste away even more. For first they will see, and then they will depart and be tormented. That's something new. This information here about two groups of people being resurrected. We knew about the one group in green that's going to be transformed with an everlasting body, but no one ever thought that there's going to be the second group that are wicked, that are going to begin to waste away, while the righteous group gets these glorified bodies. Then it says, for the righteous, says, for they will dwell in the heights of the world. That means they'll go into the heavens. And they will be made like the angels and be made equal to the stars. That's just what it says up here in Daniel about this group. And those who turn many to righteousness like the stars forever and ever. And they will be changed into any form that they desire, from beauty into loveliness, from light into the splendor of glory. So these guys will be like shapeshifters. They'll be able to change their bodies into any form. Then it goes here, it says, but then it speaks about what Jesus speaks about. It says, and then the excellence of the righteous will surpass that of the angels. So these righteous people who were resurrected and receive these transformed eternal bodies, their new bodies will exceed and surpass that of the angels. For the first will receive the last, those whom they were expecting, and the last will receive those whom they used to hear had passed away. For they have been delivered from this world of tribulation and have set down the burden of anguish. So it speaks about the last and the first. Jesus says, so the last will be first and the first will be last. Verse 15, therefore, for what have men lost their life? And for what have those who were on the earth exchanged their soul? This is what Jesus makes a reference to. He says, for what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and forfeit his soul? So here we have Baruch. We have Jesus essentially commenting on Baruch. Jesus is, he's literally giving a commentary on what Baruch. He's quoting Baruch essentially. I'm going to skip some of this, guys, and jump down here. I think that's it. That's all I really want to talk about here. So in this video, I just wanted to show that there appears to be a second group of people that are going to be raised from the dead to everlasting contempt. And these guys are going to somewhat mimic these guys. So here we go again. We have this predictive programming that's being thrust upon us that actually aligns with the second book of Baruch, which was obviously written, 2,500 years ago. So with that, guys, I'll let you go. You can download this document and study it for yourself. With that, have a great day, and God bless you.